this is Patty McKelvey from Wilmington Pilates. Today, I'm going to show you some great ways to modify child's pose. If you have knee issues, hip issues, low back issues, a regular child's pose might be too much for you. The first thing I want to show you is regular child's pose. So normally it would come from maybe all fours and then sit back toward your heels. And the arms reach long for child's pose. Letting your forehead rest onto the floor. So the option of having your toes tucked, sitting your hips back towards your heels, reaching your arms long. If that doesn't work for you, you can keep the toes untucked. If you have shoulder issues, you can bring the arms by the sides, let your forehead relax onto the floor. Another option for shoulder issues is to rest the forehead on the hands or the arms. If you have knee issues, and this is just too much flexion for your knees, you have a couple options. So the first option, I have a half roller here. Now the first option is to take a roller or a half roller and put it in your knee crease so that when you sit back toward your heels, your knees don't need to be at such an extreme angle. Now with my hips up a little higher, my forehead doesn't reach the floor. I might want to stack my hands. You want to make sure you get that forehead toward the floor without letting your head hang off the end of your neck. It's nice and relaxed here for your neck, for your hips, and your knees. Another option, if you don't have a half roller, is you can roll up a yoga mat or a towel or a blanket and place that behind the knee crease as well, sitting back toward the heels. And then the knees don't need to be at such an extreme angle. Once again, you can take whatever position with those arms feels good for you. Ideally, reaching these arms out and stretching through the side body. Another option, if your low back is really tight and you don't want to round that low back too much, you can bring those knees wide on your mat and sit back toward your heels this way. You can also use one of those props behind your knees in this variation. This is a good variation if you have osteoporosis and you don't want to round that spine too much. Once you're in your child's pose, make sure you're not arching too much here with the knees separated. So those are some tips about child's pose. If that's hard for you to do, it's not accessible because of your knees or your low back or your hips, those are some modifications you can do. I hope this helps.